So, it's been close to an entire year since Classroom of the Elite Season 4 was officially announced with this key visual. At the time, we knew absolutely nothing about Season 4 aside from the fact that it looks completely different from the previous seasons based on the key visual. People were speculating we may actually get a studio change because of how badly Lurch adapted the first 3 seasons of the anime, but ultimately, no one had any real info. And that was until around 6 months ago when we finally got our first short teaser. And even though it was most likely pre-animated, this trailer confirmed that there isn't going to be a studio change and Lurch is going to continue to adapt the series. And it also confirmed that Season 4 is gonna have some staff changes because the character designs and compositing style looks very different compared to the previous seasons. It wasn't a whole lot of information, but at least we got something concrete. Fast forward to now 6 months later, and there is still some important information we don't know about Season 4. First up, we still don't know who's gonna be the director for this season, which is one of the most important roles in an anime production, and the director is usually revealed alongside the very first announcement for most anime. Next up, we still don't know the total episode count for Season 4, which is gonna be the biggest determining factor on whether it's gonna be great or trash. I am personally desperately hoping for a 24 episode season, even though it's pretty unlikely considering Kadokawa's track record with the series. And finally, we're still missing the actual release date for Season 4, something people have been wondering about ever since the very first announcement. Thankfully though, we now have a solid idea of when we'll be getting more information about the series and a pretty good estimate for the release date. So, if you guys don't know, Classroom of the Elite is going to have a stage at this year's MF Bunko Festival that's happening on 16th November. It's a pretty big convention for Kadokawa's light novel series, and there's a very high chance we're gonna be getting more information on Season 4, along with news for other anime like ReZero, Gemai Seikatsu, and more light novel series. We're most likely gonna get the release date for Season 4, along with a new key visual, or even a trailer if we're lucky. We currently have about 3 months until the MF Bunko Fest, but we can already make a pretty good estimate for the release date of the anime. Most anime usually start airing about 6 months after the release date gets announced, and if Classroom of the Elite follows the same trend, we might see the anime coming back in spring 2026, after the release date gets announced in November. There's a very slim chance it could also start airing in winter 2026 at the earliest, but I feel like the chances of that happening is very unlikely. And finally, the longest I'm expecting to wait is until summer 2026. I really don't think we're gonna be waiting for 9+ months if the release date does get announced in November of this year. So, the TLDR is that it's most likely gonna start airing in spring 2026, and I'm expecting we're gonna be waiting until summer 2026 in the worst case scenario. And that's pretty much all I have to say for the release date situation regarding Season 4 of the anime. And now I wanna talk about some misconceptions people have about waiting a long time for the continuation of the anime. Most people equate longer wait times as automatically bad, when it's basically the opposite when it comes to anime production. Production time and the staff's talent are the two most important things for great animation. The budget really doesn't matter as much as people think it does, because animators are still getting paid in peanuts. Animators don't get paid to animate better. In most cases, their pay is the exact same no matter how much passion they put into a cut of animation. So, you guys need to realize the importance of production time when it comes to anime. Classroom of the Elite Season 2 started airing not even 3 months after it was announced, and it was one of the biggest production disasters I've seen. It's on par with what happened with the Tibet anime adaptation. More than half the episodes of Season 2 were outsourced to random studios because Studio Lurch didn't have enough time to work on the episodes. So, it's actually a very good thing that Studio Lurch is actually taking their time with Season 4 of the anime, and not rushing to release it as fast as possible. Even though it sucks to wait such a long time, it's gonna be more than worth it in the end. At least when it comes to the quality, because the biggest issue with the anime adaptation of Classroom of the Elite is all the cut content and rushed stuff. It's genuinely one of the worst offenders when it comes to cutting out important content and rushing important moments of the series and giving them barely any time to breathe. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. Really looking forward to November for more information about season 4. But it's gonna be hilarious if we don't get any information at the convention. So I'm just gonna hope this video doesn't end up aging like milk. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed the video and consider subscribing to the channel for more anime content. Peace.